Good afternoon, junkies. How the devil are we? Well, what do you make of what's going on? Are Marty's still in? Oh, Perez is back in, although I've got to admit I do agree with that one. But Soyunshu's not. Fofana not. And Tielemans not. I think we've got somebody that's not particularly happy with that. We'll be hearing from him in 1 second. This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Welcome along to the Leicester versus Southampton watch-along.
Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
You are watching and listening to Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and your favourite podcasts. Till I Die TV, your first choice for everything Leicester City. Tune in and join in now.
And now, here's your host.
right, Chris?
Hello again. Well, if any of you saw my shows yesterday, both of them with Brad actually, you'll know I'm not too happy at the moment. I mean, who is running the club? The players? Have the lunatics taken over the asylum? Or is Brendan still got any bit of control? I mean, it's Mahrez Mark II, isn't it? God, I hope not. I asked a German friend of mine, Josh, is it going to be a high-scoring game? He said 9.
I don't think we'll be getting that today.
I can see Marty getting a hat trick. I mean,
stranger things have happened, Chris. Stranger things have happened, mate.
Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new, and if you are new, welcome along. Thank you very much. I hope I'm sounding okay. I have had so many problems with StreamYard, you wouldn't believe it. And you, as always, just 5 minutes before I'm due to go live. But having said that, Saze, please subscribe and please like the video if you are already subscribed. My problems pale into insignificance of the problems that Brendan seems to be having, Josh.
Yep, indeed, same here.
I believe you're not happy.
No, I'm not, mate. And I know I messaged you about it yesterday about a certain Mr. Fofana. Now, if reports that have come out and all the media information we've been given lately are true, you'll have to. I'll apologise if I do swear in advance because it's really pissed me off. As a Leicester fan and a football fan in general, you sort of come to terms with certain players, players that you love and players that you want to do well, and you support the players. They're not going to stay at your team forever. I think we're not naive enough to believe that certain players are. I think certain players have been quite lucky that we've got the years out of them that we've got. Obviously, Schmeichel being one of them, he left with everybody's good graces. Nobody begrudged him a move. We've been quite lucky with players in the past where we've had good years out of them and they've dedicated themselves to us. Now, with Fofana, I've said on here many times, I believe that he can go on to be one of the, I'd say, top three centre backs in the world. Over the last, obviously, of the last couple of months, all this Chelsea business with him potentially wanting to move. Nobody wants to hear it. It's a bit of a sore point for us all because we all rate Wes. And so far for us, I think he's been absolutely amazing whenever he's played. Certain games, he's made a mistake, but he's going to because he's only young. He's only 20, 21, something like that. But I think his behaviour over the last few days, again, contrary to reports, whether they're true or not, what we've heard coming out of the club and other sporting outlets, if it is true that he's behaved the way he has, I think it's an absolute fucking disgrace. He's on big money for his age. I wouldn't say we plucked him out of obscurity, to be honest. I think he'll be making a name for himself in France. But, again, we took the gamble. We paid a sizable fee for a player of his age. He weren't really, I think he'd only played really a full season for St Etienne, and then we took the gamble on him. I've come to terms with the thought of us being not a feeder club, but a bit of a stepping stone for players of the last, probably going back to, like you say, with the likes of N'Golo Kante, Riyad Mahrez, and players like that. And you sort of think, well, Kante, we got a season out of him, but what a season that was. Mahrez, he spat his dummy out and he sat at airports, but and obviously he took himself out for a month, but he come back and he's still done the business. I don't understand how. If it's true, I'll reiterate, if it's true, and if I'm wrong, I'll gladly be wrong. Because I don't think any player would do this to us, to be honest with you. If it's true that he's took himself out of the team today because he said his head isn't right, he can fuck off. Regardless, Chris, I think we've all seen the way he acts on Instagram. I'm not on Twitter, so as you well know, I'm not on Twitter. I don't see his Twitter feeds. He's a young lad, so he's going to make mistakes. But the way he acts on Twitter and Instagram and other social media outlets is of a young lad. Now, I forgive him for that. He'll learn, but it just stinks. It stunk the place out for me, mate. It's complete lack of professionalism.
I get totally sort of where you are coming from, and I pretty much what I was saying yesterday. I'm not going to lie on that. My question was that all this has been brought on in the first instance by Brendan Rodgers coming out and saying we've got to sell before we can buy, because
which I agree with, definitely.
All the managers know there that let's go for the best players. I think, in fairness, Brendan Rodgers, he may have been broadsided by the question. He said yesterday he is there to sort the team out. He's not there to sort the finances out. So maybe he should have redirected that question and told the reporter to go and ask Susan Whelan. My question is where are Susan Whelan? Where is Top? They're hiding behind and almost feeding Brendan Rodgers lambs to the slaughter, because they should be coming
I agree with that. Yeah. I think an interesting point I got from there was a statement come out regarding Brendan the other day, and he said, I was talking to players over the at the start of the summer before pre-season, and there were certain players willing to come in, and I thought, well, if that is true, then how could you? There's either lack of communication from higher up in the club that have said, listen, that's not happening until we can get rid of players, or Brendan's been under the impression that we can move fringe players on, or we could bring these players in. Now, it's obvious we have got money to spend, but we all know that we've got to get players out because we've got shit players on very good wages. We've struggled with that. So it all comes down to, mate, is either Brendan Rodgers is lying, which I don't think he is. There's been no communication from the board, or there's been no communication from the board saying you can't bring players in, Brendan, until you've got these players out. Now, if that was the case, surely he'd have concentrated on getting the players out first before he was speaking to these potential players coming in. It don't make sense.
There's something wrong there, because we've gone from a club where you've got the manager and the chairman hugging on the pitch, but to what we seem to be now. I'm going to move on because, like I say, it's a subject we've covered a lot yesterday. I said, to run, but we're 15 minutes off the kickoff. So I'm just going to go through some comments here, and then we'll look at the game coming up. Up the Saints, I think, I was in from earlier from Come On Saints. Scott, hello, Chris, everyone in the chat. Hiya, Scott, how are you? Gutsy move by Roberts and the coaching staff. Well, you see, again, you either read that he was dropped or you read that he asked to be dropped. It depends which paper you read. Now, I've got Rob Tanner coming on a week on Monday at 9 o'clock, and he's the guy that wrote the story that Fofana himself didn't want to play, not Rodgers. But we can ask him about them, but hopefully it's sorted out by then. Why the hell are Marty's in this team? I do not know. Let me just try and see, because my normal method is not working, like I say. So let me just see if I can bring the team up. I'm not sure if I can. There we go. I don't know if that's come up on the screen. No, it's not, because I need to use the other one. That's fine. My mother told me there'd be days like this. Share screen. StreamYard, you little bugger. Right, why isn't it? It's not. I can't bring the slide up, unfortunately. The joy of StreamYard. But yeah, Amati, I don't understand that at all. And he's had two awful games there. And again, Rodgers is now dropping him in it by keep picking it. I put Perez in my team purely because he does like a goal against Southampton. David, you're right, and good afternoon. Scott saying please like and subscribe. I appreciate that, Scott. I get the logic with Perez and his record against the Saints. I think something different had to be made because of Tielemans, and Tielemans had to be dropped, because he was so bloody awful against the Arsenal.
Well, again, mate, the thing is with Yuri, I cut him a lot of slack. I think he's been a brilliant player for us.
He's had too much slack, has he not now?
I agree with that. At the end of the day, we all know he's on his way to Arsenal. It's pretty much granted. I think. It must have been tricky. I'm not. This isn't me making excuses for him, but it must be tricky to sort of play against a team that you potentially, you look like you're pretty much joining. Having said that, at the end of the day, we're still the club that pay your wages. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for not putting any effort in. You're a professional footballer. That's your job. Get on with it. Do you know what I mean? But I agree, mate. I think the last couple of games, obviously, we done the watch along for the Brentford one. I thought Yuri was. I can't remember if he started or did he come on that game. I can't remember, but he's just looked anonymous, to be honest. And again, whether that's down because he knows he's getting the move, but it's no excuse. At the end of the day, our club is your employers. You just get on with it. Yes,
you do. Let me bring the team up. Well, let me talk you through the team. So we've got Ward in goal. I'm not sure. Actually, let me just say I can probably bring it up another way, he says, famous last words. Line up. Here we go. Let's have a look at this little beauty. Share screen. Tell you what, he'd be a sports journalist. Right, so here is our team. So we have got Ward in goal, Justin Amati. What the fuck? Evans and Castagna. Now I like Amati. He was my player of the my most improved player last season. But he's not. That's not his position. He's not left-footed. And what is it? What is it with Brendan? Is he so fucking stubborn that, I'm talking about zonal. I'm talking about his substitutions when he makes them late on. What is Brendan's problem? He's had 2 shit games and you're still picking him. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think with him starting it, it just goes to show maybe the relationship between himself, Brendan, and Soyuncu is just completely dead. It looked like we were trying to sort of push Soyuncu out the door over the last few weeks. He's been linked with moves away. Not really. I know I've just seen Brad's comment there about Soyuncu potentially throwing a strop because he didn't get moved, but I'm not sure if I remember that. I know his performances took a downturn over the last, I'd probably say the last year or so, to be honest. But he's got to be a better option than Amartey. I think out of all the players today, Amartey's got to have a massive game. And we know he's got it in him to have good games. But like you say, mate, the way he's started, and nobody's really covered self in glory over the first couple of games, but the way he's started, it is worrying. It is really worrying.
Yeah, like I said, my question is, like I say, who is running the club here? The players. If Brendan has lost the dressing room, then maybe Brendan has to walk. Maybe Brendan has to go. I don't know who would come in. That's another story for another show. But if he has got a relationship that is so bad that he can't pick players because he's fallen out with them, then pack your bags, Brendan, and get out the door. I'm sorry, it's your job to make the best use of the players you have got, and at the moment you are blaming everybody but yourself, and maybe you need to look in that mirror. But as Brad says here, imagine if Amartey scored a 90th minute winner. I'd love him. Obviously I would. That's being a football fan. But
exactly.
In his defensive position, it's just wrong. It is just totally. He's not a left-footed player, and we've had 2 games where we've seen that. Brendan, I'll tell you what, Brendan. Here we go. Borrow these. Do you want these? Because you're fucking blind, mate. You're fucking blind. Simple as. Indeed, he obviously in the middle. Nice to see Barnes back.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, Maddison, Dewsbury Hall. Perez I get because, he's, let's be honest with you, likes a goal against Southampton. Disappointed no Pratt, though. Yeah,
it's a bit of a strange one with Pratt. I mean, I thought he had a really, really good pre-season. He's come back and, he's looked like he wants to be here, which, again, you couldn't really blame him for sort of not downing tools, but thinking, well, I ain't really been given a chance. And when I have been given a chance and I've played deep pretty well, I've just been dropped. So I'd have liked for him to start. I mean, I know when he were out on loan at, was it Torino's on loan, weren't it? And, reading comments about his time there, apparently he was playing on the right side of, I can't remember if it was a front 3 or something like that, and he was doing really well. So, like you say, Perez, he always seems to turn up against Southampton. So we've just got to hope that he comes in and has a really good game for us today and gets one of his token goals against them. Fingers crossed.
But again, Pratt has come out and said, "I didn't get on with. I know we didn't come to an agreement with Rodgers. I've had a talk with him. I now want to stop and fight for my place." And he's rewarded by having the useless piece of baby feces that is Perez being picked over him. Now, I do agree with it for this game, but why the hell Pratt, he's playing 20, 30, 100 times better than Tielemans at the moment. Why isn't he in there?
I agree, mate. I agree. I think this is one of the frustrating things with Brendan, and we've been warned about him for teams that he's managed in the past. Their fans, Liverpool, obviously, it completely went stale there and didn't end very well for him. Celtic fans at the time, I remember when we got him, they were on social media saying, his brand of football will eventually become stale and boring, and the players they just won't take to it. He's been known in the past to say publicly come out and say that he hasn't been backed and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it all goes back to what you said at the start, mate. Something behind the scenes isn't right. If I was a betting man, which when I am, I lose, so I wouldn't. I'd say I'd put good money on him being the first manager sacked. He won't walk because you
lose your money. You'd be stupid.
Exactly. If he is sacked,
what other job can you be shit at? And then you
exactly, mate. It's madness. It's madness. It's absolute madness.
Tom says here, Rodgers is going to destroy our team. It's time for him to leave. Bring back Ranieri or Pearson. Well, you see, the problem I've got with that B-Crom is that you've picked two managers there that currently are crap. Ranieri was good when he came in. No, they are. Ranieri was good. I love him to bits for what he did. But the following season, we were sat in the relegation zone. You're complaining about Rodgers, like I am, but Rodgers was the guy who won us the FA Cup. So shouldn't he be looked on in the same way as Ranieri? Do you not remember Ranieri dropping us right down into the relegation zone? We finished the lowest any holders of the Premier League finished in the following season. We are the worst. That's it, simple. So you want to bring him back? And let's have a look at Pearson. I mean, he was talking the other day about thinking about retiring because he doesn't get on with the refs and doesn't like their decisions. Again, what has he done since he's left Leicester? Sweet fuck all. Because, and I quote the great Nigel Clough as well, when Nigel Clough and Peter Taylor split, then, he was shit, Clough. He was absolutely shit. He lasted 44 days at Leeds. So much so that he went and begged Peter Taylor to come back with him, went to Nottingham Forest. Soon as Taylor unfortunately passed away, he was useless on his own. Now, Pearson, without the team that he had at Leicester, is useless. What has he won?
I agree. I agree, mate. I agree. I think, like you say, the trio of Pearson, Steve Walsh, and Shakespeare, it was perfect, and it worked. Obviously, to our benefit, like we hoped it would, and definitely, mate. We witnessed Shakespeare without that sort of team around him when he managed us, and it didn't work out. So I think, it's 100%, mate. It raises a very good point that certain people who get on with the back team, the backroom staff, but then without them, they're nothing. But having said that, Pearson, for what he did for us is will go down as in my lifetime.
Both of them will. Martin O'Neill, once again, rest in peace. John Robertson passed away. He was useless. It's the team that works.
It is.
And I'm sorry, bringing those back. So who would we get? That's another show. I mean, Anthony's saying Vieira. I don't think Vieira would come. Let's face it, he's only just gone to Crystal Palace. We don't know how good he is. He's not won anything yet. At least Arteta's won an FA Cup. Southampton manager, if there's nobody else, possibly. But, we're talking, are we down to that level? But the players are just about to come out on the pitch. So I will say welcome along again. It is Leicester Till I Die. I think we've got all the ranting out of our system, hopefully, now.
Still got 90 odd minutes left, Chris. So don't talk.
This is true.
Don't talk too soon.
To me, this is Rodgers. This game matters more to Rodgers than it does to the team. 3 points isn't the end of the world this early in the. This time last year, Arsenal had 0 points, and they finished 5th at whatever it was, 6th. So it's not the end of the world. The performance and the team he's picked, that and the substitutions he makes will determine, I think, everybody's reaction after it. But this is Leicester Till I Die TV. We are doing a watch along, and it's Leicester versus Southampton.
the Leicester Till I Die Watchalong show. Join in the chat and don't forget to subscribe.
Indeed. So let's have a look then. Let me just change my screen over. I'll bring that back up in 1 second. Scott wants Patrick Vieira. What's he done? What has he done? You bring in a manager who has done absolutely nothing.
I like Vieira, and watching Crystal Palace when they're on telly and such, they play some really good football, and I think their transfer strategy that they've got, bringing in young players, is something that is to be admired, to be honest. I don't think he's a sort of manager who I'd want just yet, as daft as it sounds, but I think the way his career is going management-wise, same with Gerrard at Villa, I think they are destined to go on to become Arsenal manager and Gerrard at Liverpool. For me, definitely. I don't think we'd ever be in with a shout of. I don't think we'd ever really be in with a shout of getting Vieira, to be honest.
No, we've kicked off, so here we go. 90 minutes of hell. Let's see. We've kicked off on the graphic. We've not kicked off on the screen. They're still tossing the coin at the moment. Evans, good choice for me for captain. Albrighton, kind of get it because as a vice captain, you don't need to be on the pitch all the time. Your job is maybe to do things off the pitch and back up the manager. So I think a couple of good choices for experience and old wise heads there.
Yeah, I mean, the Johnny Evans being picked as captain didn't surprise me. I think, again, he even said it in his statements when he come out and said, and Rodgers, come out and said, it was sort of a natural progression for him to be captain. And rightly so, I really like Johnny Evans. The Albrighton thing did surprise me to a certain extent, but I think, Brendan come out and said, I think the players are going to vote for the vice captain. So if the players have voted for him, then we know how well liked he is by all the players. So yeah, I'd like to have seen a vice captain that maybe we're probably going to see play more matches than Albrighton will. I think he's going to be very much like last season, a bit part player. But yeah, again, for me, Albrighton, I think he, as a servant for us, he's been an excellent player. Yeah. I really like him.
Anthony says, Chris, well, as I said, Anthony, Chris, Arsenal lost their first 3 games and finished 5th last season, and fans were worried at the start. Indeed, no, you're quite right. Jose Mourinho, A, I don't think he'd come here. B, we couldn't afford him, and C, he'd spend all the money in the first week because he's not been proved at a club like Leicester. He's only gone to clubs where he's had the money. Immediately, Vardy gets in to the mix. So I don't think Jose Mourinho would come. Although last night Brad fancied him. Come on, you Saints, Anthony. Well, they are your second club, let's be honest. Jeff here, I, Chris and Josh looking for the 3 points today. Forecast 2-0 and Marte and Perez. I'd take it. Big Tom, why not bring in Sam Allardyce while you're at it? Well, hey, he saves you from the relegation. Let's hope we don't get to that point. Anthony says we should not. Oh, in fact, let me put this one first. Jeff here says we should not be discussing managed position after 2 games. What were the results of the first 2 games in our title-winning season? We won
both. We won both.
So there we go then. There you go, Jeff. But also, let's be honest with you, he was being moaned about before he even started the season. Did old Claudio? Scott says, "Don't let Chris hear you say the Forest manager." I don't mind Cooper. I think he's going to do a good job at Forest. And you know what? In a lot of ways, they're a club like Leicester. They've got huge expectations now because of their history. And so far, he's managed it well.
Definitely, and I think a lot. You see on social media a lot of people on there, are not slagging them off with the amount of players they're bringing in, but I don't think a lot of people realise that they had to bring in the players because they lost so many through having so many on loan last season that they've had to go out and spend the money. Maybe they're taking a bit of a gamble of how much they're spending, but yeah, I think. They've definitely got the players to achieve a decent finish, and as I've said before, I think they'll have for a newly promoted team, I think they'll have a decent season, whether that be finishing 15th, 16th, or.
I don't think they'll go down. I don't really.
No, not at all.
And I think we've also got to remember that we complain, and I certainly do, about the likes of Norwich and Watford when they don't. Bring anybody on, don't sign anybody, don't make an attempt at it. So maybe we shouldn't necessarily have a go at, Forest for spamming. We know Fulham have done it a couple of times and it hasn't worked, but the managers that they've got and the managers that Forest have got, I think that's the difference, to be honest with you.
Exactly. At least they're having a go. If it don't work out, it don't work out. But at least, they're being brave enough to say, listen, here's the money.
First corner to Leicester. I'm guessing.
I know you said about a performance today, mate, but I'll be honest, I'm the complete opposite. I don't care if we score a 93rd minute winner and it comes off the ref's bell end. As long as we get 3 points and a win, that's all that matters to me today, because then sort of, it's off your back and you've got the first win out of the way, because we've got tough games coming up, mate. We've got very tough games coming up.
You're quite right. You're quite right. And I can see what you're getting at. Hey, finally my... why is it showing... why am I getting Leicester on the Chelsea stream? I know not. But I know what you're saying. But if the performance isn't there, the chances are we'll lose. Oh, that was a push. Surely that was a push.
I think we might be on the same sort of time here. What time have you got?
On my, I'm still trying to reload up the TV, but on the his goal, I'm on 4:55. 4:55 minutes.
I'm on 4:57, so I'm just behind.
On that, we're thereabouts.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look what will come up, and I'm on exactly the same on the on the TV on the Fire Stick as well. So remember, welcome along to the chat. If you are in the chat, please do not shout anything out before it is actually on the graphic in the screen. If it's on the graphic in the screen, then that's fine. We can't, we would see that as well. But what we don't want is spoilers in the chat, because all it will do is end up getting you kicked out. So please don't do that. And if you are new to the channel, please click that subscribe. And if you're not, please make sure you press that like button. It does help with the old algorithms, isn't it? And at my age, Matt, I
algorithms,
But I'm going to...
what? I know. I'm sorry, Chris. He gets some shit, and rightly so, Perez. But he does put himself about, don't he? I know you expect that from a professional footballer to put effort in. But yes. He's started. He's given away two fouls. I thought the first one were a bit iffy. We just seen him barge into the back of somebody there. But at least he tries. At least he tries. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm clutching at straws. I don't know.
We say that about other players that that they give 100% when they come on. He kind of does, even if it doesn't work for him. But let's see. Let's see what our friend at the ground thinks.
9.
Indeed.
9.
It didn't work the first time. Oh, now I'm going back to the computer screen. I mean, going into we both had ourselves and Southampton. Southampton started with the 4-1 loss at Spurs. And I think a lot of, Wolves have just lost at Spurs. Spurs got the usual last-minute goal. And I'm buffering now. And then they got the draw with Leeds after being 2-0 down. Same with us. You know, we were 4-2 against Arsenal and we're 2-0 up against Brentford and threw it away. So we're very, very evenly matched at the moment.
I think so. Again, it's one of them games where you look at it and you think, right, if we're going to get some wins early on in the season, this is a game that you look at and think, I don't want to say we should be beating Southampton because...
No, we should. We should.
But we are... Yeah, exactly. Realistically, it's one of the matches that could go both ways. And I don't know if we'll see a goal fest today, I'll be honest. I can see it being a little bit sensitive because, as you say, the starts we both had. As much as the performance weren't really there against Arsenal last week, Arsenal, that's not the first time we'll see Arsenal completely dicking a team like they did us, really. So I think it goes to show that whereas maybe like a couple, 2 or 3 seasons ago where we were beating them and we were competing, I think last week's performance and results sort of shows how far we dropped down, because it's a bit disparaging, really, but how far off we are to competing with the likes of them again, really.
Yeah. Just a quick one, say hello to Nimble, is it? N1 NBL, I'll call you Nimble. Yeah, I'm on a Fire Stick, but I've also put the link in there that I'm using. Not brilliant, but nor is the Fire Stick, in fairness. Palace and Villa 1-1 already. Goalfest coming there.
I think I've just seen Fulham 1-0 up against Brentford as well.
Wow, we are talking there's been some shockers this season, hasn't there?
Indeed, mate. Yeah, I think
yes, they are 1-0 up. Yeah, and Tottenham, like I say, won 1-0 as well. Apparently, Samara is not involved today because he's in discussion with other clubs about a transfer. See, this is another gripe I have.
Yeah.
Better than out. Yes, it is, mate. It is. Hang on, Leicester coming away here. No. Good
I've just
idea.
seen it wrong. Yeah, wrong sort of pass for me. Should have gone to Perez there. I felt we're in a bit of a better position. But
again, we are sat on the side, like, watching down where we're not on the pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
My phone has just gone off. What does that mean?
I think I'd have probably shanked it into Rosette, to be honest, if I were in that position.
Yes, yeah.
Southampton coming away here. Good tackle. They've spent quite wisely, Southampton, though. I think Aribo from Rangers is a good signing for them.
Indeed. Universal Credit messaging me on a Saturday afternoon. Oh, that was a Dewsbury Hall. We didn't take any prisoners with that.
Definitely not.
I think he did go for the ball, in fairness. He didn't get it. It's a corner. Oh, no, it's a corner. The Palace, but have we cleared it? It was a soft shot in the end. And Ward picks it up.
I do like that goalkeeper shirt he's got on.
Yeah, it's a bit.
I do like it. You'll probably notice, Chris, on a lot of your shows, all I wear is black. To be honest, it's one of my favourite colours.
Funny you should mention it, but yes. But I actually wanted the new. Not bothered about Burnley, and don't worry about letting me know that. What was I going to say? I wanted the. Well, I was thinking about buying the new third strip. But A, they haven't got my sizing because I'm a fat bastard. Anthony, Burnley aren't even in our division, so don't bother telling us about Burnley. We really don't want to know. But yeah, they haven't got it. It was £63 for the third strip. So in a way, I'm glad they haven't got my size in.
It's mega money, isn't it, mate? Bring back the days of Fox Leisure, I'll say.
Well, indeed. And you've also, in fairness, big up to Brentford for keeping the same strip for 2 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Bit surprising in this day and age because, like you say, all the kits are they're just money makers, aren't they? Really. But yes. Yeah, fair play to them for doing that. Especially like you say, in a time where cost of living's going up, it's expensive enough to go and watch a game of football these days. So fair play to them.
Yeah. I mean, that's the sort of thing Leicester you would have used to have done, isn't it? Really, you know.
I'm trying to think the last time we actually done that. Kept the same shirt. Would it have been?
It's a long, long time ago. But I think you go back to the 80s, something like that.
No, it's not even that, mate. I think it's. We did it. We got relegated from the Championship to League One. We kept the same kit then when we had the Tops tiles on it, and then I'm pretty sure.
Watch the match, and I'll tell you because I've got it on my website.
It was that season, and then I'm pretty sure we kept the same template for the first season we were back in the Championship, and then the year after when Sosa come in, we had the same shirt with just King Power on it because we went sponsorless for the first season back, if I remember.
I should tell you.
That's it. That's it, because on the
LTID.com /shirts. So let's have a look. And the last time we had the same shirt, it's never been back in the Premier League. It wasn't in the Championship. 2011, 2008. Yeah, 2007, 2008, and 2008, 2009. We had the same home and away strip for the 2 seasons. Tops tiles, like you say, and it was made by Jacko.
Yeah, I'm not just a pretty face, Chris. And it was a nice. It was a nice transition as well, going into you advertising the website there as well. You see, so.
Go on to LeicesterTillIDie.com / and a load of specials on there. But yeah, no, you're quite right with that.
Played you a nice assist for that one.
I did. I'll give you the assist. I did love the away shirt that season, the yellow and blue. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah. The home shirt weren't to really shout about, but
no, it wasn't. Yeah, one of those I did prefer the away, but
yeah.
Let's bring this up. So it's 0-0. I'm going to say it's looking more Leicester at the moment. I don't know if you would agree with that. I mean, we've literally had 8% possession. We've had 2 shots each.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, mate. I think neither team's really been amazing, but we're just shading it at the minute. We haven't started. I don't think any neither team started poorly. I think the standard of football has been pretty good. There's been some nice intricate passing from both sides, really. But I think it's going as you'd expect at the minute. With, as you said earlier, sort of both teams looking to pick up the first win.
Yes, definitely. There are 2 shots, but we haven't got either of those on target. But we are certainly having a go at them. Oh, that was unlucky from Perez. Beautiful cross, just showing it again then from Dewsbury Hall. And Perez took it on a volley. Unfortunately, he hit it into the ground first. But Perez was up there. Now Southampton are coming. I think
just a bit of a dodgy height for him, really. It came across, weren't it?
Yes, it was. You know, you wouldn't blame him for. In fact, well done for being in the position to there's nobody else.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly, mate. Getting in at the back stick, definitely.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling there's going to be a red card today, Chris.
Do you?
Yeah, I think, like I say, because I think it's going to be really quite a tight game and quite tentative. I think there's going to be a couple of rash challenges that won't go unnoticed. Let's say I could see there being someone being sent off. Good switch there.
We will find out soon, I am sure. But
well done, Perez. Brilliant.
he did not have a bad pre-season either, Perez.
No, I don't think so, mate. I mean, I think we judge him on how much we spent on him, and I think rightly a lot of fans expect more goals and more assists, which is right. But as I said earlier, you can never fault his effort and commitment. He's a bit rash at times, but you never know, mate. Maybe this is the season we'll see him become sort of like a prime. Sort of like a prime Ronaldinho / Rivaldo.
What are you drinking? I might not go that far, but yes, I mean, when you see his Instagram posts, it's always training pictures or weightlifting pictures or what have you.
Yeah.
And we at Leicester, there's always a player that we seem to sort of decide we don't like, isn't there? Whether it's Chilwell or whoever.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to give him a clean slate. So Samare I don't get because come on guys! Oh, is that a corner? Wasn't a bad free kick, to be honest with you. Perez in there again.
Yeah, he's like I say, he's putting himself about, mate. Yeah, he's had a really good start.
Yeah, there's another corner. We're 18 minutes in. Tomorrow I don't get because, first of all, he was going because apparently he couldn't change his play to how Brendan wanted. So as I said, do check out BBC Sports page for Leicester City every Tuesday because I do write a blog for them as well. And I said in that one, he's asking Samari to play a different game. Why not just buy a player that plays the fucking way you want him in the first place? It's like you get married and the woman tries to change you. Why? You bought him because of the way he plays. Then decided he didn't want to sell him because he played well pre-season, and now he's back up to selling him again.
I think we all had such high hopes as well. It was a signing that I would.
League in France, yeah. I think give the player one season and judge them.
It was a signing that I was definitely excited about.
Yeah,
but his first season definitely he sort of.
But I
don't know how to put it, to be honest.
71% possession to Leicester at the moment. But I've moved around the country and I found it hard. So moving abroad to play in a different league, at a different tempo, in a different style, it's not necessarily going to happen for you straight away.
No, it's not.
Working well to get... free kick, surely. No, giving it as a shoulder barge, I think. Good defensive work. Like I say, it's another one of Rodgers' weird decisions. He used to be indecisive, but he's not so sure now. Yeah.
I did get one of your jokes yesterday. I watched about 10-15 minutes of your show yesterday with Brad, and I can't remember, static or something, and you said something like, he's never on the move or something.
Moved. Yeah,
that's it. He's not moved, and I think he's sort of. Yeah, I don't think Brad appreciated the joke, to be honest.
A lot of people don't appreciate my joke. I'm not going to lie, which is why I always have this ready.
I enjoy him.
Oh, good. You're a good man. I remember you when we were talking pay rises. This is Leicester LTID, and it is Leicester 0, Southampton 0 at the moment.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV with
Nottingham
Chris and
Forest
Chubbs.
0-0.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. All you need for everything Leicester City FC. It's Leicester Till I Die TV.
Sorry, Josh.
It's Forest still 0-0, and I've just seen Fulham are 2-0 up.
Yeah.
I think Fulham have a good season. They've had a really good start. I'm not sure. You know what? I can't remember if I did or not. You know, when you asked me in the Brentford game, but they're surprising me at the minute. I think I suppose it's a local, it's a derby as well, isn't it? Fulham Brentford. To be 2-0 up against them, and after what they did against United last week, I know it's still early days, still got 75 minutes to go or so, but yeah, fair play to them.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Fulham, Leeds, and Southampton to go down, so it shows what I know at the moment.
I genuinely can't remember who I know I had Everton, because I think one of the viewers is an Everton fan, and he commented at the time, so I had to apologise to him for that. I can't remember who else I had. You know what? I've probably been a bit of a hypocrite. I probably did say Fulham at the time. So yeah, they've had a good start, very good start. I don't think they drew last week, didn't they, as well? I know they obviously drew Liverpool first game and then drew last week. So fair play to them.
Leicester, the absolute cost, nobody there at all. But Castagna and Perez are really, really matching up well. They're playing well off each other.
Yeah, linking up really well, mate. Some nice give and goes. I think obviously Brendan sort of likes to see his fullbacks push on a lot. So, and it's something that Castagna always does really well. You touched on it in the first game against Brentford. Now, he likes to bomb forward, and he does really. I mean, if it's a shame we've not got a sort of backup striker in the ilk of, like Ajoa used to be for us, or sort of like a big man in the box where, if in the last 10, 15 minutes you're losing games or you're pushing for a winner, that he'd be the sort of player on his in here and look at. He'd give him the ball, whip balls in. He's got a target man up front that causes havoc. So it'd be interesting to see what he could do with that sort of player in this team.
Yes. I'm going to say hello. Yeah, Jeff, thank you very much for that. Just kick me while I'm down. MK126. MK12673. I'll call you by your nickname, MK. How are you? Never been here before, but your guy, that's me, in the top window, was good value when you appeared on the Saints Matchday vlogs. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. It is one of my favourite channels to go on. We always have a good crack, and Jack came on mine to do the same thing the following night. We always do have a laugh. One of my favourite channels to be on. And that Brown boy, good evening as well, sir. Welcome along. Just think the boys look so flat. Are we talking Leicester boys? I don't know. Do you think we look flat, Josh?
I don't think so. I mean, it looks like Southampton had just scored, but it's been given offside. He did look offside as well.
You're ahead of me now, then. What minute are you on?
I'm on 25:54. It's just coming up on the replay now. Yeah, he's offside. Just good job, Johnny Evans stepped up when he did there, because he'd have kept him on. I don't really think we've looked flat. Not really. I think when we've sort of got the ball had the ball in there off, we look like we're trying to sort of keep the possession we've got, but we're more intent. We're trying to get the balls sort of in the box quick, and if we are playing around the box, it's sort of into feet and then straight out. We're not really. Don't really look like we're dilly-dallying on the ball that much. I don't think we've looked flat. But in my opinion, anyway.
Happens, so yeah, I agree with you. But it's a scare. And I'm going to be honest with you. He took that goal well.
He did. It was a very good finish. Very good finish. Sort of the old, what you'd see Henry in his prime, sort of finishing, opening up his body and Ward no chance at all. But yeah, it's a warning sign, definitely, mate. It is.
So, but no, I was quite impressed. He took that well. Not sure who it was for Southampton, but he stayed calm, took it well. Oh yeah, right. The boy is in blue. I would have said if that had counted, I think that would have been against the run of play.
Mate, yeah, I'd say so. I mean, they've not really, touch wood, they've not really troubled us. Couple of shots that Danny Ward's just done well to collect, really, and albeit they've been straight at him. But yeah, you could argue that it's been against the run of play. But
it was Mara. Yeah, it was Mara whose goal was ruled offside. Like those linesmen, always said that linesmen are good. Or assistant referees, whatever they're called these days. So we are looking at 0-0, still just short of a minute off the half-hour mark. I wouldn't say we've had any clear-cut chances.
No, you'd probably say Perez, the Perez one where he's volleyed it into the ground and did it go wide, or I think it went wide, didn't it? That's probably the closest we've come. But we've got ourselves into good attacking positions at least, which is a positive. Again, we've not really, attacking wise, don't look like we've really gone down the left that many times. It just seems to be down the right side. I'd like to see go down the left, put Barnes on the ball a bit more, get him running at their defence and see what he can do. But
it's his first game back, so he may
probably being a bit tentative with that, which is fair enough if that's the tactic we're going for. Maybe sort of see what he can do. But yeah, it's not a bad start. I don't really think we've got much to really moan and complain about, but having said that, in the next 5 minutes we'll probably go down. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So hindsight's a wonderful thing, I guess.
It is. MK, all we need is one free kick in your half. #JWP. I would say back to you, all we need is one free kick in your half. #Maddison. So we've got two players there, very, very similar. But yeah, it's a fair point. I do worry. I mean, MK, I know when I was talking off air with some of the Southampton guys from the channel, is Prowse that good a player, or is he purely a one-trick pony? As in, how is he if he's not? If he went a whole game and didn't get a free kick, which is obviously unlikely these days, but would he be, what else would he bring to the game? Brown Boy says, do you reckon it's El Sacchio? Not yet. No, it's way too early. Like I said, this time last year, Arsenal were bottom and they finished fifth. Man United are bottom. We know they're not going to that at the end of the season. I have said, though, that it's one of those seasons, I think the World Cup is going to make a big difference, because chairman and owners will look at the World Cup starting mid-November and think, 4 weeks in which we can bring another manager. It's not working out. That'll give him 4 weeks to get to know and assess the players that he has gone to the World Cup, and then it's here also in time. At that time, he assess them, and then he can plan in the January window. So there's, I think, sort of World Cup kickoff, there'll be one or two managers in the old private stuff.
Yeah, I think you're right. clubs will wait to pull the trigger as such, because obviously there's no international break up until the World Cup, is there?
There's a week off at the end of September. I don't know if that's the international break.
Oh, it might be then. Yeah, there might be international friendlies, I guess. I know I said earlier in the show that maybe. I'd probably put money on Rodgers being the first one to go. But yeah, maybe it's going to be a case of clubs waiting for, as you say, the World Cup when they've got a month off to reassess, and gives you plenty of time to get your new man in and work with the players that he's got at his disposal. I guess they're not going to.
What I really hope doesn't happen though is that managers are going to be there looking at players that should be at the top of their game because obviously they're in the international teams, and buying players that are going to do absolutely nothing. I mean, do you remember Kaputska that we bought from the Polish young
Yeah.
Had an absolute excellent under-21 Euros for Poland. Yeah, they never did a bloody thing for us. Yeah, so we've.
I don't really think he got given the chance, though, did he? To be honest, but I was just going to say I wouldn't worry about.
For me, it was a bit like Gazelle. When he did get the chance, he didn't take it.
Yeah. I wouldn't concern yourself too much about signing players, Chris. Not with us, anyway.
Fair point. I'll give you that one.
Let's not clutch too many straws here.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah. Ralph's not got his waistcoat on anymore. He's sporting a jazzy little top. It is a throw-in Palace on the far side, level with our box, or play into our box. Good header out by Leicester. And back to the same player. Has he overcooked it? Yes, he has. Justin watched him go out. Nice play. Well done, Justin. 0-0 after half an hour. I think pretty fair. Up tops there. He's still very happy though.
He doesn't. I think going back to what you were saying, 0-0. It's the right scoreline at the minute. Neither team's really been overly impressive, but I don't think it's been a bad game to watch, to be honest. It's some 0-0s you can there could be a bit of a slog to watch, but at least both teams are having a bit of a go, which is good to see.
Yes. You can tell that they are two evenly matched teams. And, we match everything. I'd say, goals scored, goals conceded, almost. One win, one draw. It is worrying because this is the team, really, that actually took us the fifth for 2 seasons.
Which is straight, yeah. Which is strange to see how. Say you could say decline to a certain extent, I guess. But yeah, these lads, these are players that have won the FA Cup with us and like you say, pushed for Champions League football. We know they've got it in them, and that's why I take not signing players. It's a concern. Don't get me wrong, but we know these players have got it in them to do really well and push for maybe top 6, top 5 or 6. They've got it in them, but obviously as we've seen last season, we had obviously Europa League football to sort of juggle alongside domestic football. So it's going to be an interesting season regardless. There's plenty of rest in between matches for the players, so. Having said that, you're sort of hoping that you don't really want any injuries to the likes of Johnny Evans and say this more sort of senior pros, because again, if Fofana looks like he is leaving, if we lose Evans, then we really are literally in the shit. Really.
I tell you what is proving a problem this season, and that's these collars. Nobody can keep them down.
I know. Yeah, I was going to say that earlier. I seen Vardy messing about with his, and every time the camera sort of cuts to one of the lads, you see him messing about with it and obviously readjusting it. So.
That said, I must admit, every time I take this one off the hanger, I have the same problem. So Rambo says, do you guys worry about the team this year? I think what Josh just said then, let's see how we go. Though we haven't added to the team, we've still got the team. Is that what worries me? Free kick from Maddison here. It's into the box. Oh, what a save.
You're ahead of me now, Chris.
37-19.
Yeah, I'm just coming up to 37-19 now.
Right. My computer stream is actually on more of a up to date than my Fire Stick one is, but the quality of the Fire Stick is a lot better. No, I think Are we? How can I put this? Obviously, I'm very happy with the FA Cup. Of course, I am. But are we putting too much on that? I mean, we won that FA Cup, and we could have lost that because that goal of Chilwell, let's be honest with you, it should have been offside. It was that toe length, wasn't it? Decision. And it could have gone either way. But obviously we've won it. But I think we can sort of maybe big that team up to be a little bit better. It probably were because of that. But ask me again like before the World Cup, Brown Boy, and I'll tell you. What about you, Josh?
Again, I have to. No matter who's playing for us and whoever's starting, and you have to back them. We've seen. I mean, you've seen a lot more worse teams than I have, Chris. But in my time, I've seen the shit that we've had to. Well, it was in a nice way. But, I sort of go back to players that I've seen that have played for us in the past when we were in the Championship for so long, like the likes of Momo Salah, Mark De Vries, Elvis Hammond. And you sort of every week, you had no choice to get behind them. So I know, I don't really like to arc back too much, but to see, Harvey Barnes.
Well, what are you up to this week at 39-25?
Oh, yeah, I know. I've just seen Harvey Barnes' effort.
Yeah. Wow.
Very unlucky.
Yeah. That was a good save though before from the Paris goalkeeper. Southampton goalkeeper.
But I think going back to that question again, I'll reiterate: we know what these players can do potentially. We know that they can perform better than they have done. So you just got to sort of hope that them times come back and we can get back to sort of playing how we were before.
Indeed. David makes a good point there. No point having all these possessions if you don't get a goal. Well, it wasn't as close as I thought it was. It's very, very true. You've got a bit of, I can hear a bit of crackling. I don't know if that's at your end or not, Josh.
Maybe. I can't hear anything, though. There's nothing that would be causing it, I don't think.
No, maybe. Problem with Leicester is if we don't make the most of all possession, we know he comes back and bites us on the bum.
Which is true, yeah. We've seen it many times, ain't we? I think you're right. We've seen, especially last season, we did have so much possession, and at the end of the day, you can't disagree with the comment. It's all good having possession, but not doing anything with it. But I think at least we look like we are are trying to, as I said, when we've got the ball around their box, we're trying little things, and we're trying to work his way in and work behind their I say solid back line, really, because obviously they're defending pretty well. But whereas last season we would just have possession for possession's sake, and the passing was just side to side to side, and it was just boring to watch at times. So that's just my opinion. I mean, you're right. You can have all the possession in the world, and you can go on to lose a game 1-0, and it don't mean anything. But the positive is we look like we are trying to do something with the ball when we've got it.
Yeah. Brown Boy, you're more than welcome. Whereabouts in Greece are you? Mainland or one of the many islands? And thank you for joining us. I think it is my end. Checking all my little things, but yeah, it seems to be my end more. Can you hear me?
I can't hear anything, mate. No. I can hear the seagulls in the background.
Yeah, little sit on my patio. Walker Beaches is getting telling off, I mean.
Come on. I could really, you know what, mate? I'll be honest with you. I could really do with a win, just to cheer me. I had the worst start to the weekend yesterday. I worked Thursday night, so I had yesterday daytime off. I was just coming out my house to nip to the shop, and I seen this red delivery van pulling on our drive. I thought, we ain't expecting anything, and we ain't got any work going on the house today. So as I walked out, he's backing up close to my van, and I thought he's getting a bit too close for comfort here. Next minute, fucking hit the front of my van, hit the front wing of the van, dented the van, scratched it. I went potty, mate, and it's not like me. I'm pretty laid back with stuff like that, but I genuinely couldn't believe it. So I had that, and then I went to again. These are little problems you have, I guess. So that put me in a bad mood, and then I went to.
When it's on your driveway.
Exactly, and the thing is, it was a delivery driver, and he was delivering to next door. Oh. So it was just completely pointless. And then I went to Costco to get a pizza. I turned up, bloke scanned my card, and my card were out of date, so I couldn't go in there either. So it just put a proper shit start to the weekend.
Not the best for you, by the sound of it.
Not at all.
My sound, I'm gonna have to test it when we get to half time, I think. I've been having problems. Yeah, it's there.
It was, Brown Boy, the worst start to the week. It really was. I could not believe it. Genuinely could not believe it. 1 minute added on.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Yeah.
It's definitely my end. I need to do a little bit of. Is that half time?
Yeah, I think look on the graphic, mate. It's come up as half time, ain't it?
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, guys, we're going to take a bit of a break. What are the plans? Got the kids off of the pool, etc. And I'll see if I can get my microphone sorted out. So we'll be back. We'll be back in a bit. He says interlude. and welcome back. And we'll bring Josh back into the stream as well. That sounds better at my end. How's it sounding at your end, Josh?
Yeah, loads better, mate. Like I say, to be honest, I couldn't really tell any difference beforehand. So it might, like I say, it might have just been something that you were hearing.
I think it was my end, because when I spoke, I could a little bit of an echo, but a lot of crackling as well. So maybe I need to win the lottery and buy a new microphone. I don't know. But, so Tottenham beat Wolves 1-0. Palace and Villa are drawing 1-1. Everton and Forest are 0-0, which is, I think, is good for Forest because Everton are stronger at home. Fulham still hold Brentford, it's 2-1. And of course, it's 0-0. The game we're watching. Before we get on to the actual game, let's have some good news about Leicester. There's all this talk about players wanting to leave. A player has signed an extension.
Indeed, mate. And I think it's something that's been spoke about over the last couple of weeks. But as much as, it's all, like you say, it's all a bit doom and gloom at the minute with, what's going on and sort of fans being sort of left in the dark, you'd say, about, what position we're in, for Vardy to sign a new deal, just to show that there is hope behind the scenes, that things are hopefully slowly starting to turn around for us. It's again, mate. It's probably in what's been a tough week regarding certain players that we spoke about. It's light at the end of the tunnel, I guess, and it's richly deserved. I imagine he's going to be on very good money, but he's always done the business for us, so he more than deserves it. And to have another couple of years of him, whereas I think we'll probably start to see him slowing down. Just to have him in the team and around the club more than anything, it'll be massive for other players. So it's excellent news. I'm really pleased with it.
I would definitely agree. I mean, I'm just looking here. Where are we? So I don't want to see the game. I want the news, for God's sake. These websites really do annoy me. Is it 2024 he signed it to? So it's another couple of years. And I think we are going to see the point where Vardy gets to the case of maybe coming on for the last 20 minutes. I've said this quite often, haven't I? I can see him doing that. Daka absolutely wearing the defence out and think, oh God, thank God Daka's going off. Oh shit, Vardy's coming on.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the way that maybe Brendan's looking at and seeing Vardy as maybe more of an impact player, because the last person you want running at you when you're absolutely knackered after 70, 75 minutes is a fresh leg Jamie Vardy. So if that's something that you can do, then it's gonna hopefully be fruitful for us. So which I'm sure it would be.
I think it will. Thanks for those kind words, Scott. It does mean a lot. And again, it says here, I think Perez had a decent half, some lovely play and tracking back when made a mistake. Plus the link-up play with Castagna has been, for the most part, good. I commented on the fact that he was linking up well with Castagna, and I've got to be honest with you, Scott, I'm agreeing with you, and I'm starting, all jokes aside and all banter. And please remember that what we as presenters, well, certainly for me as probably the main presenter, always says is what I say is not necessarily what I think. So I might take an opposing view to Josh purely because I'm playing devil's advocate. So, but I am looking at this season and saying, right, it's a fresh start. So, Perez has a chance to prove himself. Vestergaard, let's see, if he stays with us and doesn't leave, it is all a fresh start for all these players.
Yeah, with the Vestergaard thing as well, I know that a lot of fans are sort of looking at it thinking, well, he's not leaving because he's on good money, which is he is on good money. But having said that, if he were to leave if he were to leave, I know he's been linked with, moves to Fulham. Fulham aren't shy of money. They'd have at least matched what he's on with us, to be honest. So I don't see it. I don't see him staying for the money. And you know what? I think it's, as much as he's been a poor signing so far, it's not too late for him. I think he's probably one of them players where you get behind him and he's going to be very much a confidence player. And I hope he can come in when called upon if we don't sell him, and he does a good job for us, because we've seen it at Southampton when he's played for him in the past. Obviously, I know we were in the team that we beat 9-0, but he can be a solid defender. But it remains to be seen, mate. It does.
It does. And I think Rodgers made the point in his, one of his interviews. He wasn't brought in as a first-choice defender, and he knew that. He was brought in. And we wouldn't have signed him if Fofana hadn't been injured, let's be honest with you. But he was brought in as backup to all the other players. But
exactly, mate. Yeah.
The only one person that really, in defence last season, played well. It was changing every week. There was different players, different formations. Our win probability, I'm just looking down here, as it's gone on, our win probability has gone down. But Southampton's has stayed bad. I think that. But here's a comment from David, and it just shows, you see, David says here, Perez is not doing much, missed a decent chance, and otherwise just looked to get in the way of progress, not fast and too workmanlike. And then you've got Scott saying, I think Perez has had a decent half, some lovely play tracking back. Football is opinions, and everybody's opinions are valid. Nobody's wrong, nobody's right. It's just all, what we all individually think. I've got to go along with that. I think he had a decent half, to be honest with you.
I agree, mate. Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Hopefully what we get is that evasive first goal, followed by a couple of more. Expect Pratt will come on for Barnes around the 60th minute. I'd like to see Pratt. I've always liked him. Always liked him. Passes made towards Vardy and possibly some of the runs he's making. Well, I think we should have Inacho on, because I just think he does hold that ball up very well. And look, as soon as he brought him on against Arsenal, he set up Maddison. But I understand why Vardy's always picked. And the Brown Boy, do you think that it's fair that the board will charge you for membership fee before you can even buy a ticket for a game? As you know, lots of people upset about this, considering there's always empty seats. You're not going to please everybody, Brown Boy. I mean, I don't have a season ticket because I'm down on the south coast and I'm out of work. But I do pay 40 odd quid, whatever it is, for a membership. And which reminds me, I still haven't had my pack yet this season. But so you do. I get that, and then I do get a chance to buy the tickets. What we've got to remember that this is the club that did not increase season ticket prices when we got promoted. This is the club that hasn't put season tickets up until this season. That was like 6 years on the trot. We did not have a rise in season tickets. So, it swings and roundabouts in a lot of ways, isn't it, Brad? Sorry, Josh, sorry.
It is, mate, it is. And I suppose it was never, as you say, for the last 5 or 6 years, season ticket prices froze. And it's only a matter of time before, you have got to start upping prices and such. So,
yeah.
I mean,
hit more than most by the COVID because of the industries they're in.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got to sort of make what sort of money they can back somehow. So
yeah. Just to say that Leicester are now playing right to left. It probably hasn't changed. I don't think whether it's changed on the graphic or not, because they don't always change those at half time. They just have it going the same way for the whole 90 for the graphics. But we are going from right to left. Hopefully we've learned from the Arsenal game that if we do score, that we're not going to let them back into it straight away.
Indeed. That was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Twice,
Only us.
It was particularly bad. But sum up the first half for me. Josh.
Sorry. Pretty even contest. I mean, I know they had the goal ruled out correctly for offside. It was probably, as daft as it sounds, the biggest chance any team had. But I'd say even contest. And if it was to be like that in the second half, then a draw's the right result. So hopefully we could just push on a bit more. As I say, I feel we've been pretty positive in possession. Southampton look a difficult team to break down, but all it takes is just one moment of magic, I guess, Chris. So fingers crossed it could come in our favour.
A bit of a tumble there in the box. Two players coming together, but it was all nice and fair, says the referee. Who is the referee today?
I couldn't tell you, mate.
No, I could not either.
I think a lot of them changed though this season, didn't they? Because I think 3 or 4 retired, didn't they, or moved on?
Yeah, a couple of them
Premier
are still
League refs anyway.
VAR though. Yeah. Mike Dean's still on the old VAR, but he has been relieved of his duties for this weekend because of the mistake he made in one of the matches from last weekend. So I still think they should have ex-players on the VAR. I really do. I think, and Jerry Taggart, he did the score predictions with me this week, and with me and Brad, and because Steve Lynix is sunning himself on holiday, and he said the same. Ex-players, because they know, referees look at it in black and white because they've never played, but ex-players, they know why something might have happened, and I just think it would be. But then again, it's a sensible thing to do, so we know the FA won't do it.
Exactly, mate. And it's probably as daft as it sounds. Obviously, ex-players and as such can make decent money elsewhere by going on to punditry and that. So whether they look at it and think, well, if
League, but I don't necessarily think so from like the lower end of the Championship and the League One and League Two.
Understandable, but I suppose you could say on the other hand, could you really have an ex-player on VAR for Premier League games if they've only played in League Two? Because as we know, Premier League, the pace of the Premier League football is totally different to what League Two is. So I get where you're coming from, definitely, and it for me, I agree. It makes all the sense in the world to have ex-players on it because they look at it a bit like, as you said, mate. I think because referees see everything, it's either black or white. I think with ex-players, they might see, well, like I say, they played the game. They might give the benefit of the doubt to the attacker on an offside that's been given by like a toenail. Do you know what I mean? So I think we'd see better decisions.
Yeah, I think we would. And at the end of the day, the rules are the same in either game, And I think it's this clear and obvious thing that they stick their hat on. Do you know what I mean? It's Fofana. Oh, he's actually turned up for the match.
Is it?
Yeah, he's in the stands. I'm not sure about that jumper he's wearing, but he's actually at the match. But he is talking to his, shall we just say, buxom girlfriend, and not concentrating on the match. So, in fact, but then again, if I was sat next to her, I don't think I'd be concentrating on the match either. Oh dear. So 5 minutes in, 0-0 still, no change. Oh, Brentford have equalised.
Oh, I like coming back from 2 round, aren't they?
Yeah, 49 minutes, Fulham 2, Brentford 2. I wonder if Ericsson is regretting his decision. Asking for a friend, as they say. Asking for a friend. Brown Boy, it's very, very kind of you to say thank you very much. Top stream, lads. Genuine knowledge about inside and outside of the club. Keep it up. Thank you so much. That means a lot to to myself and Josh, and obviously
Definitely, mate. Thank you.
Please, and if you haven't, somebody has subscribed during this show. So if it is you,
yes.
Oh,
God.
hang on. I was cut off mid chant there. I've not seen it yet.
Sorry, Chris. Sorry, mate.
It came up. It came up on the graphic in the middle. So don't worry. We can't.
Do you want to know who scored?
No, because it's coming up for me any second.
Oh, okay, I'll let it be a surprise.
Please let it be Perez. I don't know. I'm on 51-52 at the moment.
Tony Cottee scored.
He's coming on the channel in November. We're doing a 1-to-1 with Tony Cottee. So,
I love Tony Cottee. What a player he was for us. Brilliant.
And I'm waiting to celebrate. I must be miles behind you. What are you on at the moment?
I don't know. It's gone all pixelated, to be honest, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, I'm on 52-26, and we've not even. We're just about to get a free kick.
I mean, well, my streams just froze, so.
Right. Well, let me celebrate early for me.
Yeah, indeed.
And is it number 10?
It is indeed.
What was that Southampton fan saying earlier about Mr. JWP? # Maddison.
I think you know what it is. I think obviously we've had good news regarding Vardy today. The Maddison contract. If we get news that he's signed a new deal, come out in the next week or so, then it takes the sting out of everything, doesn't it?
Sorry, mate. What a free kick!
It was, mate. It was indeed.
What an absolutely amazing free kick! Indeed, what amazing! That was like, where's JWP now? Where's your JWP? What a goal! I mean, looking at it again now, boom, straight in. Wow.
Brilliant.
I mean, you got to question whether you should ever concede from a free kick with a wall and your goalkeeper, but that was straight in, and Maddison quite rightly celebrates.
I think it's the technique he's got. You know, it's when he was sort of not on his game as such, and you know, some of our fans were getting on his back. You know, a position like that, and you won't back him at all. But the way, especially played last season, and the way he started this season, you're thinking, he's got a massive chance to score, and.
I'd love them to now go over to Wes in the crowd and see whether he cheered or not.
It'd be interesting to see, mate. It would be interesting to see.
Yeah. Wow. I'm now on 55:01.
I'll be honest with you, mate. My stream's completely stopped, so I'm sort of it's completely died. So I'm sort of at the minute half between attempting to listen to it on the radio and finding a new stream. So
that's given Leicester a bit of a boost. We are coming well back, on top at the moment. Boom, indeed, Brown Boy, boom. All we need, if I dare say it, all we need is 8.
9.
Yeah. The thing is, you know what it is, mate, and you know what, the watch along we did for Brentford when we were 2-0 up, and we were saying at the time, just do not sit back and invite pressure on, because I think to win this game, I hope I'm wrong, to win this game, I think we are going to need to score a second. Like I say, I pray that I'm wrong, but I just cannot see us not conceding. I know that sounds really pessimistic, but we definitely need another goal, I feel anyway, because it's Leicester, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly.
This is Leicester, which is why we celebrate so much when we score a goal, because we don't know how long it's going to last for.
Exactly, mate.
Get Champions League? No way on
not a chance.
No.
It'd be nice, but not a chance.
No, but I would say Brown Boy is still booming. Leicester City are only 3 points off first. Well, this is it. Let's not be totally stupid. This is the thing, isn't it? That, as I say all the time, and I said it with Craig, back in the day. Oh, give it a kick out. That's it. Good boy. I'm talking like they can hear me. We never used to see a table for 6, 7, 8 games, something like that, because it wasn't worth looking at. Now one game, Arsenal are top of the league on the Friday night, and they bring out the best of video.
Yeah, I agree, mate. As much as we all want to win games, I'm not one to really look at the table too early, to be honest, because I don't really think it's got that much merit behind it. As you rightfully said earlier, Arsenal lost the first 3 games last season, didn't score in any of them, and then just finished 5th. So
sorry, that Brentford goal I said was 2-2. It's been wiped off, so it's still 2-1.
Did it say why?
It didn't. No. I can probably find out. Let's have a look. No, the BBC have changed everything around this season, so it's not giving me like text description. So no, I've no idea. I've no idea why. No, my God, Fulham's second goal was scored by Lobo Alves, Paulinho Gonçalves.
Local lad.
Now, if you buy one shirt, you'll keep Fulham alive for 3 seasons. Bloody hell, that's a name to have on your back. No, it's still Fulham 2-1 up at the moment. Leicester are up to 10th, like you say, 3 points off. Substitution. Mara is coming off for Southampton. Adams is coming on. Corner taker. Kick it. Get out there. No, that's not a penalty. No, that can't be a penalty. Oof. My God, that was... Oh, that was...
It just seems like we've sort of dropping off and letting them come on to us a bit too much. Like the Brentford game, just get hold of the ball, slow it down if you have to,
But in fairness, I suppose if Palace have watched the Arsenal game, they're going to be saying, right, if we concede, we get straight at them because they're, weak on that.
Yeah.
Jeff, I don't think it'll make any difference with Southgate. I just don't think he likes Maddison, and that's it. And we have to accept that some England managers, they just do not take to a player for whatever reason. It's a throw-in. It's all the way back into the Palace half.
I think on touching on the Maddison thing, I think you're right, mate. Southgate's definitely got his favourites, and I think Maddison will have to solve world peace before he gets a consistent run in the England team. It's madness, really. But
we are defending like we've just got everybody almost behind the ball here. I think it's another corner.
Scary, isn't it?
It is.
I'll be honest with you, Chris. I can't remember the last watch-along I did with you where we won.
Okay, well, if we don't, it's your fault.
I think it might be a bit of a jinx. I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember which one I did that we actually won a game. So hopefully today breaks the streak.
Let's hope so. Fingers crossed. So number 8 for Southampton, about to take the corner. Chips it across. Oh my God! Jesus Christ! Hail Mary, Mother of Madness. Vardy. I mean, people have been talking about Vardy being on the front post for corners, right? But in that case, the header was going wide when you look at it from behind. The header was going wide. And it did hit Vardy, who did what he was supposed to do, kick it in. Oh, sounds like somebody's broken the crockery at your end.
the wife's just come in the kitchen to start dinner. So.
Oh, you can't argue then, can you? Right, this is worrying. This is worrying. This is the third corner on the trot now for Southampton. They're trying the third different style. Oh yeah, I mean, literally, I think the way you would describe our defending at the moment is last ditch.
Hanging on, mate. Hanging on, ain't we?
Yeah, we are throwing bodies in the way. Oh bloody hell, Evans! He absolutely. I think he went to kick it out and caught it all wrong, and thankfully it went back towards Ward. Honestly, where's my heart tablets? Anybody got a defibrillator handy? Twitters, yes indeed. Wayne, good evening. How are you? I will say, I'm not going to say it because it's it is up and down like a bride's knickers on a wedding night, but this is the one that I am using at the moment. Twitters, I guess you meant jitters, brown boy, but Twitters, yeah. There's a ball boy that looks decidedly bored.
I'm still here, mate. I'm just going to make a move upstairs while the wife's cooking. So
yeah, no, that's fine. Say hello to the missus for me.
I will do. Chris says hello, Laura. Hello.
Hello.
I think she's hoping that we win because I tend to be a bit of a grumpy bastard for a couple of hours when things don't go our way. So
really, I would never believe that. Oh no, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. Let's just turn back to the start of the show. Oh, maybe. Oh, Tielemans is coming on and Daka is coming on. So a couple of substitutes there on the 65th minute. Perez going off for Tielemans, presumably. Who's Daka? Daka's replacing Vardy. So, like we said before, maybe this is sort of where he plays the 60-odd minutes. So Tielemans has got a lot to prove. I don't know what sort of reception he had from the crowd. Obviously, I can't have my sound on, but Daka for Vardy. What do you think of those substitutions, Josh?
Vardy, he ain't really been in the game as much.
Hang on, Jake's in the house. Jake, how the devil are you, sir? What happened against Forest last week? You had one job. One job, Jake. But, hey, I'll see you on Wednesday, Jake, for the quiz. He's up against Charlie, the Man City fan. So we will see. It's the battle of the babes. They're both younger than I care to imagine. Sorry. Anyway,
no, it's all right. I'm quiet for a reason, Chris.
Oh shit! I've just seen it.
It's fucking. Oh god. It's just the same shit all the time. Like, I mean, Southampton are going to come at us regardless, but it's just fucking game management, mate, isn't it? Game management. We can't fucking do it.
You might
Can't
be
do
waiting
it.
a long time for that, Jake. You might be waiting a long time for that. But I won't tell you on the stream. I haven't seen it yet. I saw it come up. Obviously, I can see the goal. Armstrong looks like he's coming on for Southampton.
It's just, this is what I was saying, mate. You know, we go a goal up and you're sort of thinking, right, just keep things as they are. But just the fucking panicking and sit back, defend what we've got. It doesn't work. We've not got the players to do it. It's so frustrating. It really is. And at the minute, mate, there only looks like there's going to be one winner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. And I think it's something that the players can't be doing off their own back. You know, they've got to have been told, you know, maybe sort of sit on what we've got, defend what we've got, because it's happened too many times now for it to be a one-off.
But it's a set piece as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I said about Leicester, about Brendan Rodgers being dropped in it, but the hierarchy at Leicester City, they agreed to take on a head of recruitment that we can't actually take on until the end of the transfer window, and a set piece coach who is who can't get in because of his fucking visa.
It's fucking madness, mate.
I think. Oh, it's an own goal. It was an own goal, wasn't it?
I thought Che Adams had scored for some reason.
No, I think he probably had the shot, but I think it hit Justin and went in. Yes, it did. It was going in anyway. I'm not gonna. It would have gone in because it had gone past Ward, but
he's right. David's right. You know, it's just fucking.
It is. It's
just
the
game management is so bad, and I can't get my head around how fucking bad we are at how we respond to going a goal up or after we've scored. It's just panic station straight away. It's just so annoying to watch, because the thing is, you go a goal up nowadays. And you think, fucking hell, like, you're just expecting us. You know what's going to happen. We're just going to sit back, defend what we've got. It's the same shit, mate. It really is.
He just seems such a stubborn bastard, doesn't he? You know,
yeah.
It's his way or the highway, and his way isn't working.
What I don't get is how. I mean, fair enough. You have got to be cautious, you know, when you go a goal up. But if you've got the momentum and you've got the players that can, you know, going forward, and you've got the players that can do it, why not carry on playing the way you are? I don't understand. By all means, sit back in the last 10 minutes or so if you're a goal up and defend what you've got. But don't fucking score a goal in the first 5 minutes of a half and then think, oh, you bastard, best sit back here. It's and it's happening all the time. All the time it's happening, and it's just so fucking annoying. I mean, going back
so high and yet not be anywhere near that throw-in speaks to such a lack of quality. Sorry, if it was a soft, long throw-in, you could see coming a long way away. Yeah, I don't know who to blame for that. I mean, I mean, Justin was gone in where they Justin obviously was trying to block it, and it went in off his foot. You know. But it shouldn't have got through to him at that point.
Exactly, mate. And that's the annoying thing. They've scored more or less directly from a throw-in. Like I don't. That's like basics of. I mean, we've seen Stoke back in the day when they had Delap and players like that, but the goals we concede are just so poor as well. Like if you get beat by, if you're getting, losing games to goals where, it's either good passing, good build-up play, or, 35-yard screams and you lose it by the odd goal. You hold your hands up and you say, you know what, fair enough. But I don't get how this defence is so bad. How has it got so bad? It's great. We've seen these players do really well for us defensively, so it's got to be down to coaching, surely.
I mean,
so I genuinely don't know what Kolo Touré does with these players.
No.
I don't understand it, because we're getting worse defensively. We are a fucking shambles. Absolute shambles. And the scary thing is, we've got in the next few games, we've got Man United, we've got is it Chelsea next week? They'll rip us to absolute pieces. They'll destroy us.
Even Man United, the way they're playing at the moment.
And that's the thing, we can all take the piss out of Man United and laugh at them and stuff, because obviously they're expecting to do better than what they are, but they'll turn us over.
Again, is this a serious question, bro? I think you asked it earlier, didn't you? Justin said in a different way. And the answer's still no. Do you think we can fight for top 4? No, come on. David says we have no hope of the top 6. I think that this way we've got no hope of the top 10.
We cannot play. We cannot play well for the majority of a game. We can't even play well for 70, 75 minutes. It's literally either the first half we play well or the second half we play well. There's no in between. No. I don't. To be on it for 90 minutes and be perfect for 90 minutes is unrealistic. I don't expect that, but I expect to not be defensively so naive, to not be constantly scared when we go a goal up. It goes back to what I said earlier, mate. To win this game, we needed to score another. Obviously, now we need to score another to potentially win it. But at 1-0 up, I will never, ever, until I see changes defensively in the way we play, I'll never, ever be confident being a goal up. Never. Not even if the game is 0-0 and we score a goal in the 92nd minute and we've got a minute left of the game. Yeah. I still won't be confident.
Oh, Inacho's coming on.
And again, mate, they're only.
I mean, I know that I'm not taking anything away from Southampton. They deserved the goal. They were on top at the time.
Yeah, exactly. And being honest, mate, as I said earlier, and as the comment said a minute ago, it only looks like one team that's going to win this. What have we done since we scored going forward?
Nothing. And then that's just a pass that's just gone straight to a Palace player. We don't have one defender which is dominant in the air. I mean, you could argue Vestergaard, but then he's short when he jumps and when he actually just stood there, isn't he? So, where is our confidence in possession, though? We hold on to the ball, slow play of all the time, and defending gets into position. Why on earth can't we move at serious pace and cause terror? Maybe because we've got a shite manager. Is that the answer?
So there's something's not right, mate. Something is not right. A lot of these players played in like saying the 9-0 against Southampton. You know what I mean? Fair enough. I know they were down to 10 men after we scored the first, but they pushed and pushed and pushed. But we've gone from pretend like going a goal up to just shitting ourselves, dropping arse and trying to defend what we've got. We can't do it. We cannot do it.
He's got Barnes is going off. Dak has been on 2 minutes and he's got a booking already. So I'm guessing it's Inacho for Barnes. Yes, it is. But again, I have to ask. One up front was not working. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take one off the front and put another one on up the front. What the...
There just seems to be no...
Nearly a second one there. Nearly a second one. If you want to see a grown man cry every week, please subscribe to the channel and then tune in here.
There just seems to not be a lot of thought regarding changes and substitutions. Most of the time it is just sort of like for like, and when you do need to make tactical changes, I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm genuinely lost for words.
And you'll probably agree with those words there.
I agree. I do agree. 100%. 100%. And you know what the sad thing is as well? If we were to get a new manager in, you'd see whoever we played, the game after, you'd see a totally different team. Totally different team. We've got the players to go on. We've got the players to go on after we went 1-0 up today, take the game by the scruff of the neck and think, right, let's push it for a second, maybe a third. But no, again, we are. I don't know. I'm stunned.
Down to 15th. Forest are 10th, just to put it into perspective. The other games, Palace are now 3-1 up against Villa. It is 2-2 Fulham Brentford. Everton 0, Nottingham Forest 0.
It's just all them. It's all them now. I cannot believe it. We've done nothing since going 1-0 up. Absolutely nothing. And you know what the scary thing is? As daft as it sounds, we've got League Cup in a week, going to Stockport.
God help us.
But it wouldn't surprise me, Chris. It wouldn't surprise me.
It's honestly, you said at the start of this show, way at the get-go, Rodgers will be the first manager to be sacked,
and he will be because of these sort of reasons. I know. Listen, I'm not making excuses for the players at all, because at the end of the day, they're going out there and they're playing. But it's no coincidence that when we go a goal up, or after we equalise, or we sort of get back into a game where we pull it back to 2-1 or whatever, we try and defend what we've got, and it's just bollocks. I don't know. It's just so disappointing. It really is. Because had we pushed on and sort of gone for the second, it's a game we could have won. We can still win. I'm not saying we can't, but there's only one team.
I think if there's only one team in it, get a second goal, it's Southampton. I just don't see where we're going to get our goal from, because we're not even in their half at most of the time.
No.
I mean, Tielemans has done sweet FA since he's come on.
They just look. I mean, there just looks like the lack of confidence and the unwillingness to carry on playing the way we were before we got the first goal.
Yeah,
there's something deeper lying, mate.
To take a winning team where we had Vardy and Inacho two up front that season, and then when Inacho is the top goal scorer, to have the brains of an ant like Rodgers appears to, and drop Inacho and go back to being one. I mean, I'm sorry, the stubborn, and I really am beginning to think it might be time. I mean, let's have a look at the stats. 62. Oh, I'm going to refresh that. That can't be right. We can't have that much possession. Well, apparently, we've got 62% possession. 6 shots, 1 on target. It's just not good enough for a Premier League team.
Chris, do not look at your stat screen, mate, because this is getting a fucking joke. I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry. He's got to go, mate. He's got to go. I'll say it now. It's a good goal, but you don't sit back and you don't invite the pressure on yourself. They don't get in the position to score them sort of goals, mate.
Please don't tell me he came from a corner.
Don't know what to say, mate. He's got to go. He's got to go. And it'll be, you know what?
I'm running out of arguments to. Oh, was that a penalty? No. He got a yellow card, went to the Palace player. I've not even seen the second goal yet. I'll probably top myself before that happens.
I'm not. I mean, I backed Jose Perez for months and months and months when everybody were against him. So I'm not one to be blasé and say somebody's got to be dropped or somebody's got to go. For me, mate, Rodgers, he's been a great manager for me. We won the FA Cup under him, but it's getting to the point now where we're getting nothing from this game. The atmosphere at the stadium is going to be as toxic as you wouldn't believe, I imagine. He's got to go for me.
I honestly, I say seriously, give up. I just don't know what else to say. Guys, if you're watching and you're new, please at least try and cheer me up by subbing to the channel. Brad's going to go off on one tonight. Oh, yeah.
It's unreal. It really is. There's just there looks like there's no confidence in the players. Heads drop.
Let's just say, at the moment, Southampton deserve it.
Oh, without doubt, mate. And you know what? It sounds crazy that you're saying that, but it's so true. They got the equaliser and they've not thought, we bastard, let's settle back and settle for a point here. They've pushed on and deservedly so, winning the game. We should be doing that. Every single football team should be doing that. Not sitting back at fucking 50 minutes or whatever it was when we scored and trying to defend what you've got, because you get your just desserts, don't you? You invite pressure and eventually it's got to pay.
Again, what a goal!
It was a brilliant finish.
I'm going to take my hat off to him, falling backwards, scissor kick. Oh, give that man of the match.
Listen, Chris, I'll say it now. As I said, for me, he's got to go. If nothing changes, I think it's completely gone stale under Rodgers. Completely. We are, I hate to say it, and I know it sort of contradicts what I said, because I believe the players that we've got, we all know we can be doing better. Nothing changes, we will be in a relegation battle. These players, if they are listening to what Rodgers is saying, and it's Rodgers saying, drop back, drop and defend, because it's got to be something, because it's happening too many times now, mate. It's not a one-off that we got a goal up and we were 2-0 up against Brentford, sat back, and we nearly lost that game. It's not a coincidence.
No.
And Rodgers come out and said after the game, fatigue. It was fatigue. I think you used one fucking sub. Last week he said lack of experience. What lack of experience? You had it's a Premier League team There were plenty of experience in there. Yeah. He's just bollocks, mate. And I'm getting fucking so fed up of him.
Jack's come in before we let's cut the before we get banned for the language. But Fuels, obviously, he's from Matchday Vlog, Southampton channel. Mate, you deserve it. That's all I can say. You absolutely, totally deserve it. Luca's in, says hi. How's Tielemans doing, mate? You know, if they put a check there, I'll drive him up to you myself. Brown boy for the club, I've said it now, get him out. You might need to sell Fofana just to buy out and get a new manager. Become again another Leicester City defender that is weak in the air. David, just watch how slow we are at getting to the ball. There's something in each one of them that tells them to slow down and be second best to every ball. I mean, is there anybody here watching that can put a defence up for Rodgers staying?
And I'm not, I'm not excusing the players out of this at all, because obviously they're not playing to their potential, and they've obviously got to be doing better. But it's happening time after time after time, and it's got to be doing. It's got to have something to do with what they're being told to do.
Yeah,
it's got to.
At the end of the day, it's where the book stops, isn't it?
It is, mate. It is. And you've seen so many times with teams where they have a complete drop off. The players get slated. The manager gets the sack. Next game, whoever it is, whichever team, whichever club, they go on to be dominant in the game and win the game, and it's classed as a bounce. That's what'll happen with us, because Rodgers, he's got to go. Because it's just so fucking boring, and it's so predictable.
Luca, he's on. What do you want me to say? You're saying, why do we never play Daka? Check the shit team at the moment. He's on the pitch. So, what can I say? That's all I can say to that comment. He's on there. But yeah, please come and take Tielemans off our hands. We're begging you. We are begging you. Not off. I think David's even not after this week, Chris. Sorry, there is something rotten, and it can't be all of them. It has to be the manager, tactics or lack of them. We run around, look for the players who are nowhere where they should be. Yeah, I can't argue. Steve Ayling, good evening, sir. How are you? Welcome along. We can't buy new players, so we need a new manager. Tell them in a different way. Can't carry on like this. Just watch House Stars. So, yeah, just to say that if you're not watching, if you do have Twitch, you're not watching, you're not going to see it, obviously. But if you are, we are also live on Twitch as well. So if you prefer to watch it on Twitch, get over there and give us a first subscribe on that as well. We're into the last minute now. It's going to be a defeat. I just don't know what to say. Words just absolutely, totally fail me. Tielemans has been as much used as a wank in a tracksuit. 6 minutes extra time. He has, though. What has he done?
But don't worry, Chris. It's Chelsea next week. We'll be up for that one.
We couldn't get up for Eva Longoria naked, could we? Let's be honest with you. Let's stop Chris that there now going, bring Leicester on.
Any team will.
Of course, then, and it's nowhere near the fucking players. Honestly.
I can give you some latest. I can give you some latest scores if you want.
No, because that would just make me more miserable. Because Forest have gone ahead.
Well, they were, but Damari Gray equalised for Everton.
We know what Damari Gray is like. It won't last. That'll be his goal for the next 10 games before he scores another one. Palace 3-1 up. Brentford have gone behind again to Fulham. God, what's going on?
I'm so dreading the games coming up because we are going to get absolutely mauled. Chelsea. We've got Chelsea.
Man
We've
United.
got Chelsea, Man United.
Tottenham.
Oh, you bastard. Oh, God. I couldn't tell you when the first win's going to come, Chris, because I fancy any team against us now.
Yeah.
But what other change apart from taking Rodgers out is going to change this? Nothing.
Well, I don't know if he's lost the dressing room. Maybe a change is needed.
He's got to go, mate. I mean, he's got to go. Something needs to change because these. I mean, I don't know whether I'd go as far as saying they're not playing for him, but to me, they are playing for him and they're listening to what he's saying, and it's not working anymore, is it? Let's be honest.
And you can't say that Southampton scored. Now we're getting into arguments. Now we're getting into fights. Maddison going forehead to forehead. And then saying, what, me? What? Of course not. But yeah, he's got bugged. Or they both got bugged.
That's it, mate. That's it. It's all over. Absolute bollocks. You know what? I think I can only begin to imagine what the atmosphere is like amongst the crowd, because there were the boos that went round when we went 2-1 down. It sounded like it was pretty deafening. So that's it for me, mate. After that today, 1-0 up, we're playing reasonably well, and then we did absolutely nothing after that, and it happens all the fucking time, and it's happening too many times for it to be a coincidence now, mate. So for me, he's got to go.
I am, like I say, I am running out of things to say. I just don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. I don't know how you both find the stomach to watch this, Joss, and speak to the shite we are seeing. It's so damn pathetic. It's running out of new things to say. It really is. Palace have beaten Villa, Everton have drawn with Forest, Fulham beat Brentford, and Leicester, the only home team so far to have lost. Thank God Bournemouth are hosting Arsenal. Words fail me. They really do.
You know what? It's a game, Chris, where we deserve to lose. Southampton with second half, they were all over us, attack after attack after attack. But it's a game that, it's as daft as it sounds, I cannot believe we've lost after going 1-0 up, because we were playing, again, we were the better team. Scored, panic set in, thought, hang on, we've got to defend against this now. And we can't do it. We've not got the players. We've not got the players to manage a game well enough, and it just seems like they're being told, you've go a goal up, sit on what we've got, whether they're getting told to, maybe sit back and defend for 5 or 10 minutes, slow the game down and see where we go from there. But by then, Southampton equalise, and then 5 or 10 minutes after that, or whatever, the 2-1, and then it's game over.
Brendan Ralph there, he just celebrated at the end. Fair play to Southampton. That's all I'll say. Guys, you deserved it. You were the better team, apart from the few minutes we went up. See, Ralph can make decisions that change a game, Brendan. You fucking can't.
Exactly, mate.
You can't make substitutions. I'm surprised you can even tie your fucking shoelaces up.
There's just no... even at 2-1 down, change something. Change tactics, at least look like tactically, you're making decisions to get back into the game. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And I know I keep going back to this, and maybe I should. I don't know. Did you hear? Was there a lot of boos at the end?
I didn't hear, but I didn't hear what it was like at the end. But the only thing I heard was obviously after going 2-1 down, the boos sounded pretty resounding, to be honest. So I can only imagine what it was like at full time.
Yeah. I don't agree with booing, but I understand it, And let's look at the table here. 6 shots from a Premier League team is not good enough. 1 shot on target in 90 minutes is not good enough. Brendan Rodgers was not good enough. I agree. I'll leave it there. Josh, as always, thank you very much. I say thank you.
I think the streak goes on for me, mate. Unfortunately, I don't know whether you want me on another watch along. To be honest.
Well, I'm having it now. When I started watching Burnley, because I lived in Burnley at the time, I wanted to get the kids into football. It was when they had, what was it? Who was the manager? Not Glenn Hoddle, Chris Waddle.
Yeah.
And every time we went, like 0-0. Anyway, when you start fucking coming, not finished with you. I'll let you know for next week. You're not coming on Tuesday for the watch along. Let me just say that, okay?
Well, you know what the thing is, mate. The thing is, maybe you need to make tactical changes fucking better than what Brendan does. Take me out for the week. Take me out for the week. Take me out for the week and see what happens.
Don't mind losing, but yeah. I will leave with this. I can remember the Great Escape season when we were bottom for so long. But you know what? We've got effort in.
We played good football, and we played good football, and we tried it, and we didn't just sit back and defend for fucking 50 minutes when we went a goal up. We carried on, and the fight, like you say, mate. I don't know whether the fight's gone, but Brendan's completely. He's lost it. He's lost it for me, and I think after today, that's for me personally. I might get slagged off for it, but that's the final nail in the coffin for me today. He's got to go.
I think the gentleman that's joining me at 7 o'clock will say the same, mate. Thanks very much. Try and enjoy what's left. Well, I know we'll say the same next week. Try and enjoy what is left of the weekend. I think
my daughter's got a last pre-season friendly tomorrow, so I think I'll enjoy that more than anything, rather than watching our shit at the minute.
Take your frustrations out. Take care, buddy, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.
Cheers, mate. Look after yourself. I'll have a good weekend.
And you. Take care.
See you later, mate.
Oh, I can hear my microphone going again, so I think it's probably time to go. So yeah, Highfields, that's what I was just saying. I agree with you totally. The second half performance was a disgrace. We are bereft of initiative, speed, goal confidence. We struggled to show we cared enough to try and win. Come on, Mr. Top, do the honourable thing. Rodgers at last season with zonal marking. I'm about to put a poll up on Twitter, which is at LTID. So at LTID, about whether we should get rid of Rodgers now or not. Basically, does he go now? Yes or no? If you want to vote on it, you have to be following me on Twitter, and then I will be back at 7 o'clock somehow to try and dissect this with Brad. Whether it will or not, I don't know. As I say, my thanks to Josh. My thanks to the lot of you lot for putting up with that shit as well. At least you only had to watch a graphic. We had to watch the real thing. Please feel sorry for me. Think, oh, poor Chris. Subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1.5. Please try and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Smash the likes. At least give me something to cheer. I will see you back here at 7 o'clock. Don't touch that dial. Thanks very much for all your support, watching, listening, in the chat. It really is totally appreciated. All the best, and I'll see you in 1 hour, 59 minutes. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye, and see you next time.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
Cool. I'm out of here. Ooh, that's a wrap.
Some people are on the pitch. They think it's all